All righty, folks, it is time to check in on the real estate market. Specifically, we are going to check on King County, aka Seattle. Seattle is a high-priced market on the West Coast, obviously. And if we are going to feel any softness from layoffs in tech or fear of layoffs, it will be in these high-priced markets. So let's check in on November. Transactions, price, activity. And we will go one level deeper and say, what the heck's going on in Beth Traverso's business? She is a top 1% agent, but will she be one this year? Stay tuned. Let's go. Let's see what's going on. How you doing, Beth?
Hey, great to be back, Mike. Thank you. So yeah, we have our November numbers for King County, Washington, Greater Seattle area. And if I could describe it in one word, it'd be kind of meh. I'm not seeing anything super interesting one way or the other. I'm not seeing crashing numbers. I'm not seeing giant spikes. I'm not seeing drama. And when I was looking back at this year versus 2024, 2023, a lot of the charts are kind of tracking about the same, like peaking around the same and then going down about the same peak. We're seeing this.
So seasonality is coming back.
Yes. But the peaks and valleys are kind of the same point, for 2025, 2024, 2023, 2022, of course, was when it was nuts. And then we're just seeing it's kind of this baseline since the rates went up and everything started to level out and correct and transactions slowed down with the interest rates going up.
I like it. Well, let's get into the numbers. Let's talk month on month, on year. Let's first do transactions. Obviously, I said that August would be the bottom for the country, but maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. What happened with transactions month to month, year on year?
We're seeing fewer transactions now than we did in August, but that's normal in our market. We usually see our lowest amount of transactions are the ones that close in January, because that's people that get under contract this month in December. Sure. Which is a slow month, the slowest month in our MLS. So we're at about the closed sales are down 12.79% year over year. So that's not insignificant.
No, that's double digits.
But when you look about it, so November 2025 was 1,262 closed transactions, and 2024 was 1,447. So we're not talking about that much, and for a county that has 2.2 million residents.
Yeah, that's not a lot of sales, but hey, that's a double-digit decline. So that's that'll you'll pay attention to that.
Yeah, and it feels like that kind of tracks with what I see. Just the boots on the ground is just homes are selling, but they're taking longer to do so, and some people are just pulling their listing right now to relist in the spring. So we're seeing this decline of inventory that we'll see in the December numbers. We're not going to see it in the November numbers, but we are seeing higher inventory year over year. We had in November, it was 35% more active listings this November than last November.
Crazy. So, well, one of the things I wanted to ask, since you brought it up on delistings, now this probably doesn't play in high cost areas like King County because it really is hard to cash flow. My guess is some of the delistings, and it's not a lot, but it might be 10, it might be 15% of delistings are actually becoming accidental landlords. Now, again, in a county with $1 million price point, that probably doesn't play, but I'm going to ask the question anyway. Are these just delayed listings for next spring, or are some people saying, you know what, I'll try being a landlord?
Some are, but I think most aren't. I've had talked to two sellers that were accidental landlords or considering being accidental landlords. And the thing is, it's a tough position to be in, because these were folks in both these scenarios where they purchased at the peak and they can't get that price now. So they'd have to take the loss. So it's either take a multi-$100,000 loss or rent for about $3,000 a month negative cash flow. Like you rent the house for $4,500, but your payment's $7,500.
Sell that baby. Don't no alligators. No alligators. Sell it.
I know there's no way I would want to pay. That's like a whole extra mortgage payment you're paying just to support that dead horse,
Sell.
So
sell.
I would say sell. Yes. And so, but different people have different reasons for wanting to. Sometimes they want to move back in at some point or whatever, but it's like, that's a lot of weight to carry around. And for some, we don't see short sales really anymore. And these weren't short sale situations because they've put significant down, but you have to let go of, that money that they put down to sell the house. So, with those types of numbers, we're seeing more people are just going to bite the bullet and sell it. But I did have a client earlier this year who owned it longer and had the ability to cover his mortgage by renting, who did decide to rent rather than sell. So there are some.
It doesn't really play in $1 million market. That's hard to cash flow in $1 million.
It is, market. Yeah. I mean, if you're looking at more entry level homes, which in our area are around they'd sell for maybe 700,000 or so. And so it depends on when they bought them. If they bought that house when it was 300,000-400,000, then you probably could not have an alligator, but that's not the typical.
I got you. Yeah. All right. What about price? Everybody wants to know price. Is price finally crashing in Seattle, King County?
Yeah. So even with these numbers being down as far as transactions and inventory being up, we're still seeing it pretty flat with price. It's about 1.08% down.
Oh no! I know, crashing 1%. And now again, back to seasonality. It does go down at the end of the year. This is not abnormal. Just go step back, zoom out, people, zoom out, and you'll understand what's going on.
Yeah, and just to know the swing. So we've talked about when we're at our peak. We always seem to be topping out the past few years at around $1 million-ish for the median sale price in all of King County, which is a huge place with lots of different markets, but the median sale price in November was $915. So it's like it did take a pretty big plunge, but it also has to do, as we said, with the mix of sales too. Like you get more high end sales, it pulls it up, and right now the high end is tending to stay on the market longer. So we don't have as many high end sales. We have more mid and lower tier sales.
Yeah, that's a big flip. And I think not a lot of people pick that up. That could skew the median price lower. In fact, I've tried to tell people for years, one of the reasons that median home price is up so much is because the mix went the other way. We didn't sell the low end because the low end was stuck and we were only selling high end.
Yeah.
And now what you're saying is the high end is stuck and the low end is selling. So it's kind of, it's fun to watch. Well, okay. You talked about inventory. What do we got with inventory?
Yeah. So inventory, we have active listings, 2,912, and our low end usually is around 1,800 or so for the year, so we're up, and year over year, we're up 35% active.
Okay. And that's even with record delistings. You're still, actives are still up.
But we're seeing the delistings. I think those numbers will show up in December. Like people are taking them off more now to relist in the spring. In our market, it has to be off the market 60 days before the days on market resets to 0. So you get a true fresh start.
Got it.
So I bet that those ones we'll start to see a rush of listings when those start to come back on in February, which is our busiest season. Our first quarter is the busiest quarter. So that's when we start to see, even in these slower year markets for the last few years, we have seen a brief window of bidding wars and low inventory. So
very cool. Does the report have days on market?
So so our days on market right now, that they have the average and the median days on market. Okay. Median is 19 days on market, not bad. Yeah. And then average is 35. So you have some of these ones that are on the market 100 days or so, and those ones
probably 300 days.
I know those ones. So what I'm seeing with the longest days on market right now are the ones priced over 2 million, and also new construction. We're seeing a lot of these builders cranking out all this inventory, and normally they would release maybe 2 or 3 a month, and they would sell, and then people would wait for the next 2 or 3 to be released, but they're not selling. They're just sitting out there. And these are builders like Pulte, et cetera, some other bigger local ones. And I'm starting to see some actual price cuts on some of those, but they're on the market for easily 100 days plus for a lot of those. So
that's interesting. So again, I think what we're hearing, at least in King County, as the threats of layoffs, some actual layoffs, I think people in King County are a little bit nervous, right? You've seen transactions fall 12%. You have soft price down 1%. You have inventory up. But at the end of the day, what about Beth's business? Is Beth's business down as well? What's going on with Beth's top 1%?
So I just checked our numbers. I don't live in our production numbers. I focus on the job at hand, and every once in a while I pop my head up and take a look. But
Yeah. What's going on?
I know. But I looked at it, and I was happy to see that our business is up 41% year over year. So
Wait.
production, yeah,
41%
sales volume, yeah, like volume of total sales.
So that's not that's like total volume of, I don't know what you call it, gross commission dollar or whatever it's
No,
called.
so that's up to, but that particular 41% metric is for you added up the value of all the houses we sold.
Add up all the values, not transactions, value of the homes.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
41%. Damn, killing it.
Yeah. So I think that just goes to show, like, those people that stick with it and power through these markets will do better. I think a lot of people dropped out. I think a lot of sellers want to go with the folks who are showing that they're still selling homes in this market and can prove it, so if they can see the houses that I'm selling, we're selling, then they know that we can get their house sold too, even in this market. So we've been getting more listings, and we've been getting a lot more buyers lately too. A lot more buyers are starting to poke their heads up and getting some good deals right now. So we've had a lot of that this past 2 months or so. It can seem like a resurgence in buyers, which is good to see.
I had a message. I talked to Adrian and Omar and Ty, right? Agents, all three in California, different markets, but all three in California. And I was telling them, guys, you got it. The message you have to tell your teams is if you've had a bad year, there is no vacations. You don't deserve one, right? You got to double down. You got to triple down. You got to make sure you start Q1 fast. Because again, I do think the pie is going to grow next year for commissions, meaning transactions, and there's 60% less people. So again, I mean, just think about it. If you're hustling, if you're doing the work, you're going to see impressive numbers like up 41%. That's no joke, dude. That's a different tax bracket. So
I'm very pleased about that. I'm proud of us. And
I'm very pleased.
I know. Thank you. I'm not a bragger, but thank you.
No, that's amazing.
But yeah.
No, you deserve it. That's you do amazing work. And again, not only are you top 1% in King County, but you also, if somebody wanted to reach out to you for a referral, you'll pass on referrals as well.
Yeah, I love being matchmaker and finding people other good fits of great agents in other areas. So I love connecting with the one rental at a time community. So feel free to reach out to me.
How would they do that?
Yeah. So my website's BethTraversogroup.com, or you can just Google my name. If I move my head there, you can see it, Beth Traverso, and you'll find me all over the internet. So,
yep. And if you're in school, one of the 500 plus members, she's in there as well. Just send her a DM.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're amazing. Congrats.
Thank you. Thanks.